Hello and welcome back to our 2024 Big 12 Media Days. We are here now with the contingent from the UCF Knights. 12 and 17 a year ago, 3 and 15 in Big 12 play. With us, head coach Cynthia Messer, sophomore forward Achola Cott, graduate student center Hannah Gusters, and senior guard Caitlin Peterson. Coach, I'm going to start with you. Year 3 at the helm of this UCF program, but year 1 in the Big 12. You have your own familiarity from years before. But as you reflected on this past season, and you have to kind of take those building blocks, what do you need and what have you said this is what we've got to do to continue to elevate this program?
Well, first of all, you build on what we had last season, and thank you for having us. We're excited to be here. We're excited about the returners we have. So we have Caitlin Peterson, who's to my left, that leads the Big 12 in scoring. So we build off that, and we were able to get Hannah Gusters as a transfer who averaged 14 points. Previously being in the Big 12 from a different school. And Shaw has always been the glue for our program. She can defend 1 through 4. She's the leader on and off the court. And so we start there as we continue to get better. We know what we did last season. We understand that. Our thing is, okay, now how do we build up on that? And our thing is we get better each day, 1% each day better. And we're excited about it.
As you look at that 1%, what is it about these first few weeks of official practice that have stood out to you with your group?
These 3 young ladies that are with me in our first 3 weeks, first of all, everyone is practicing well. But I have had some of my best practices, and I've been with these young ladies. I actually coached Hannah before. At a different university, but I've been with these young ladies for over 2 years, okay? And I had to, my first time getting onto them this season was a week ago. They have been taking over this program, dominating, leading the team on and off the court, and having great practices. And that's what we need. You know, it's only so much you can do as a coach. At the end of the day, our players have to have that chemistry and have to go out there and win and get it done. I'm so pleased on the things that I'm seeing so far.
A lot of people say, well, what would be the one thing that would identify this team as you look at it? What can be and what do you want to be sort of the calling card for this squad for 24-25?
Well, if you look at the identity of our team, we're going to be gritty on the defensive end. I mean, that's the number one thing we're going to do. We're balanced scoring and an emphasis on rebounding. That's our identity. We're going to be gritty defensively. We have balanced scoring, and we're going to have an emphasis on rebounding. And so I'm excited about it. You know, we have a lot of points that are sitting here. Now we have to go defend and play together.
All right, let's talk about one of those scores, a preseason All-Big 12 selection, a second-team selection a year ago in her first year at UCF. And for those that didn't know, senior guard Caitlin Peterson last year as a junior, 6 30-point performances last season, the only player in the league to do it. Caitlin, no longer a secret that you can score, so everyone is going to throw a little bit of everything at you defensively. What did you focus on in the off-season that will help you moving forward this year?
This off-season, I tried to focus on my pull-up game because I know, like, people know me as a driver now. So just working on my pull-up when people try to stop me, you know, just having that in my game to help me.
And finding other people that you can pass to. One of them is a new face to this roster, Hannah Gusters. As we said, a transfer from Oklahoma State, over 14 points a game last year. Hannah, you come to a new home, you have your own experiences, you have your own goals of what you want to accomplish. What was it about UCF for you, and why was it the right fit?
Just already being familiar with Coach Messer, like she said, she already coached me at 2 other universities, and just the atmosphere there, and I knew the coaching staff was going to get me to where I want to go, which ultimately I want to be able to go pro, and they're just pushing me every single day. Like, I'm a completely different player than what I was a year ago, so yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. So people say I developed something new, or it's the focus is different. On the floor, what is it that you will bring for this UCF team this year?
Overall, I would just say dominance, just leadership and grit and the will to win, just being in shape, being able to play so many minutes a game and being able to help those around me, my teammates around me, be better, and defensively being more of an impact and rebounding.
All right. The youngster on this stage right here is sophomore forward Chola Cott. You were here last year as a freshman, hadn't played a single minute in the Big 12, but then you had 15 starts a year ago, 5 games, 10 plus or more rebounds. What was it like that first year in the Big 12, making that transition in Division I basketball, and how have you used that to fuel you going forward into year 2?
It wasn't easy, I will say. Everything was new. The toughness was a lot. But the off season, I've been working on like gaining strength, going against these big posts, getting rebounds. And I think the mistakes I did a year ago won't be happening this year. I've learned a lot, and I'm able to do a lot more this year for my team, offensively and defensively.
Well, Coach, I like to hear that. Makes the turnover numbers go down, right? All right. Do any of our media out there that have a question? I've got one right here in the front.
Coach Matthew Postins, Heartland College Sports. You talked about getting grittier on defense this year. Have you found yourself over the summer reaching back into that toolbox from when you played for Gary Blair at Arkansas? Because that was very much those teams' identities and very much his identity as a coach. Have you kind of thought about how you could take some of those things you learned from him and implement it with this year's team?
Well, you did your homework to know that I played for Gary Blair at Arkansas.
Here at SFA, so I've known Gary for a long time.
Oh, well, great. Well, you tell Coach Blair hello for me, and I'm still waiting on my birthday gift. Okay? No. You know, in Arkansas, when I played in the 90s, and I'm glad you brought it up, and defense is key. So Coach Blair, when I went to Arkansas, was not a top 25 program, but before I left, we ended up being in the Final Four as a player. So he taught me a lot defensively. But also, I would say one thing that I learned in Arkansas was Nolan Richardson was there. And the men would practice every day at 3. And after we finished practice, I would stay and watch Arkansas men's basketball practice. And you know what they were known for? 40 minutes of hell. And let me tell you, so I learned that the defense really, it grew up in my blood between my Arkansas bringing with Coach Blair and Coach Richardson. So thank you for that question.
We've got another one right here. Blair Kirchhoff.
Yeah, from the Kansas City Star, and I've been asking players from other teams this. I just wanted to get your thoughts on, with the growing popularity of women's basketball at the college and the pro level, how maybe have you experienced that growth, and how have you sensed it?
Caitlin, go ahead.
Can you say that question again?
Yeah, how have you experienced, personally, the growth in women's college basketball? How have you seen it, and how have you experienced it?
I would say I think that, Caitlin Clark kind of set the tone for women's basketball, and Angel Reese. So, just having them, set the tone for, the game of basketball has, helped this women's college basketball grow in many ways.
Hannah?
I would say my freshman year is like when we were finally able to capitalize off of our name, image, and likeness, and just being a part of that class with like the Kaylin Clarks and the Angel Reeses, and seeing how they were able to amplify the game and grow the game is just amazing. And I think it's such a blessing, and I'm so grateful for it, and I think it's only going to get better.
For me personally, just going to the grocery store and people coming up to me and saying, "Oh my gosh, did you watch the game last night?" And I'm thinking NBA, and they're talking about WNBA. Yeah. So just that change is very encouraging, that people know just off of these people, and not only those two, but a lot of others like Asia Wilson and other players like that.
Wonderful. I think we have a question right over there to my left. Yes.
Kenneth Wilson, Special Olympics, Kansas. So with the ever evolving and growing atmosphere that women's sports bring, I wanted to ask something specifically to your team. Like, what's something about your team culture that outsiders may not realize but make a big difference in how you perform together?
Hannah, I'll have you answer that one.
I think it's just our mindset and just coming in with that underdog mentality. We were picked 14th, and that stung a lot for us. So that's etched into our minds every day. And just that underdog, gritty mentality is something that I think is going to be a big surprise for people.
Well, this group has a chip on their shoulder, and I think they are ready to play Big 12 women's basketball. Coach, thank you so much. Ladies, the best of luck to all of you.